And I'm back with more Phoenix Wright's Spirit of Justice. So, the plan today is to keep going with Turnabout Storyteller. We figured out that Uendo has multiple personalities, so that's going to make things a little awkward. But let's go. Okay, so press the third statement. Do you have any idea what went wrong? I'm not sure if it was my performance, or if it was just that particular audience. Or maybe it was the story I picked. But every entertainer knows that this kind of thing happens from time to time. I guess that makes sense. Still, I wonder how he could have flopped his own commemorative show. Maybe I should dig into things. What they performed. Could you tell me what Rakugo story you performed? I could, but I'm not sure it would mean anything to the uninitiated. Well, even if I might not get it, can't you at least try me? Alright. If you insist. The story I performed was called Tokisoba, otherwise known as Time Soba. Time Soba, huh? Maybe Uendo's right. You only said the name of the routine and I'm already lost. So you performed Time Soba, did you? What? You know it? In the course of my studies last night, I became familiar with a number of stories. I must say, you would do well to prepare yourself better for your next trial. What's Time Soba about? Look it up yourself. Allow me to give you an overview. The story takes place on a winter's night. A man orders a bowl of soba at a street stall. How you doing, sir? What can I get you? I see you've got seaweed topped all of a bowl of I can't stop it. I can't stop it. I can't stop it. Whoa, the customer talks on and on like this. Finally, when he's done eating, he goes to pay for his soba. Oh, come on. Sorry, but... Oh, God. He's still talking! He's still talking. The game is on autopilot. No! This is not quite old bag. How do you know this? I don't get it. Huh? I don't get it. What was so funny about that? Don't you see? The customer paid with coins, counting them one by one. Then just after counting 8, he asked about the time. Soba vendor answered with 9. Oh, I get it. He made the vendor say 9, and then he continued counting from 10. Exactly. He cheated the soba vendor out of 1 mon with his smooth talk. The story continues with another man who saw the whole thing and tries to do the same. But he bungles the trick and ends up paying more than 16 mon for his soba. The story ends on that as the punchline. You can look up the rest of your details yourself. I'm just sad monk over there would have to perform it for you after court. So basically, it's a story about a man cheating on his soba bill. It's kind of petty, isn't it? Is it really all you have to say about this classic story? Time Soba, such a well-known staple of Rakugo.
Objection!
Fine, so you studied it. But we haven't time for a lecture detour right now, sad monk. I wanted to hear a little more, but I suppose it is off topic. Getting back to the matter at hand, the witness stand stated that the story I performed was Toki Soba. Would you like to add the statement? Yes, after all this, please just add it. Just go. Just add it to the fucking... Ugh. Alright, invitation at 5th statement. Okay. Very well. Could we never do that again, please? Could we never do that again? Anyway, invitation.
Objection!
Uendo, isn't there something odd about the routine you performed? No, not that I think there's anything odd about it. That's exactly what I find odd. The fact that you don't think it's...
Objection!
Sorry, I had to clear my nose for a second. We are discussing the witness's alibi for the moment. Defense. The show's program is completely
Objection!
That's where you're wrong, Sadmati. The reason being it contradicts the statement the witness just made. Uendo, do you know what this is? No, what is it? This is an invitation to the show sent from Master Toneido to Blackwell. And included in the invitation is a rundown of the program, which clearly states that Time Soba was to be performed by Master Toneido himself. Uendo, why did you perform the routine your master was scheduled to do? Well, you see, the reason was... How do I say this? You see, let's say it was a prank. That's right, it was just a little joke. I was trying to surprise Shisho by performing his routine before he did. I don't know if I'd buy that. Was doing the victim's routine really just for laughs, or didn't Simon happen to hear Time Soba coming from the dressing room during the performance? Seems like too much of a coincidence. What was with that weird close-up? What's the matter? You look like a hen with a dozen eggs to lay. Stop comparing me to birds! Then cease this bird-brain timidity. If something has occurred to you, just lay it out for us already. Don't breed resentment in those watching your performance. Okay. I don't have a ton of confidence in this theory, but here goes. It looks like Uendo's alibi checks out, Your Honor, but even though he was on stage at the time, he may have been trying to obfuscate a crucial detail about the case. Are you referring to the Soba bill the man tried to skimp on? I'm not talking about that damn story! Oh, I'm sorry. Then what are you talking about? What Uendo might have been trying to deceive us with was... the time of the victim's death. Highlight... Okay, cool. Uendo tried to deceive us about the time of the victim's death. What?
Objection!
Man, you're going through those really fast, man. What gibberish. Prosecutor Blackwell even testified to the time of death. I know, but he only testified that way because he and Geiru had been completely taken in. You mean by the... Stop it with the stupid... fucking... I was deceived. Pray tell, how did Uendo manage to deceive two people while he was performing on stage? That's easy. All he had to do was use a certain prop in the dressing room. And what might that be?
Take that!
This TV was used to view what was happening on the stage. Blackwell, when did you come to the dressing room? What was Uendo doing? He was performing Time Soba. Ah! It could, and it was. What you and Geiru saw was what you heard was not Master Toneido practicing his routine. It was Uendo's performance as heard through the monitor speakers. What? With the TV just inside the inner door of the dressing room, it could easily be heard from the hallway outside. And because we know Master Toneido was scheduled to perform time sober, we were easily manipulated into thinking he was still alive at the time rehearsing. Also, I'm going very odd with his voice today. I don't know why, but I'm going very almost like I'm sick. But it does differentiate him from Sadmati, so I'll take it. Your knowledge of the day's programs why the two of you could be fooled this way. Did the voice you heard belong to Master Toneido? With the doors in the way, I couldn't exactly tell who the voice belonged to. But because I heard time sober, I just assumed it was Master Toneido. I can't believe I was taken in by such a simple mind game. I love the way he just shook it and
Objection!
I want him to be a prosecutor so bad. But no, all of that is mere conjecture. Where is your proof, defense?
Objection!
Uendo moved the TV back when he discovered the body. After all, he couldn't very well leave it by the door, because if someone might figured out the trick he was playing. And there's one more thing about Uendo's actions that's suspicious. And that is? The fact that he flopped so badly on stage on such an important occasion. What's so suspicious about that? Even pros slip up once in a while, you know. But I believe that this time it was intentional. Because Uendo knew it would be strange to hear laughter coming from the dressing room. Oh my! It's all just a bit too perfect to be sheer coincidence. Plus, if the voice Blackwell and Gayru heard was due to Uendo's scheming, then the victim's time of death would have been earlier than 4 p.m. In other words, Uendo could have killed Master Toneido himself! We got you by the stones now, so you better confess everything. Well, witness, what do you have to say for yourself? We demand an explanation. Uendo! I confess. I tampered with the crime scene. Uh-oh. Oh. Is this the defense's claim that Uendo Toneido is the true murderer? If he tampered with the crime scene, then we at least have to consider him a suspect. Now wait just 1 minute. I admit to messing with the dressing room, but I didn't kill Shisho. Then why did you tamper with the crime scene? I refuse to answer that question. What? If you suspect a witness, then I have a question for you. What could it be this time? Uendo had absolutely no reason to murder Typho Toneido. After all, why would Uendo kill the man who recognized his skills and promoted him? Oh! Well, his motive was... I can't think of a single thing! It appears you're also not aware of one other fact. And that is? That the accused visited the dressing room before 4 p.m. as well. Is it not natural, then, to suppose that the accused killed the victim at that time? What? Nobody told me that! Mr. Witt had gone there before 4 p.m. We were only discussing the time frame after 4 p.m., so I didn't think to mention that. But now that you have made this time period before 4 p.m. relevant... Uh-oh. I don't like where this is going. So you really do not know what your client was doing during that time frame, do you? Well, it was all very sudden, and... Why didn't you wait until the very last second to contact me? Don't you give me that look. And just so you know, Bucky never told me he visited the Master before 4 p.m. either. This sort of thing is exactly why the prosecutor keeps calling us unprepared. The defense will stop squabbling this instant. Sorry. Prosecutor Sadmati, please continue. Thank you, Your Honor. Defense, you know of the soba-making implements in the dressing room, correct? Is he talking about the equipment for making noodles? You speak of that large bowl that is used to mix buckwheat, flour, and water. The long rolling pin and the special knife that's used to cut dough into noodles. Precisely. Those tools all came from the accused soba shop. Mean they didn't belong to him? Mr. Wet had visited the dressing room to give the victim a soba-making lesson. And that visit was before 4 p.m. I'm afraid that after the accused kneaded the dough and made those noodles, he committed the act of murder. But wait, that doesn't add up. Mr. Wet killed the victim before 4. Why would he return to the room at a later time? Huh? Oh no. Oh no. Wet soba! You're kidding, caboodle, cups and noodles! Oh my. Hi, Miss Chickadee. Hey, Zaimi. The reason I went back to was because Master Toneido ordered... Mr. Wet? Yesterday, I brought 2 noodle-taking moves to the dressing room around 2. That's when Master Toneido ordered uncooked soba noodles to snack up on. Uncooked noodles to snack on? Yes, ma'am. Toneido kept the supply of soba noodles in my shop in his fridge. He only had 1 serving left, so I went back to my shop and get more. I sound really old when I'm trying to be drunk. I don't know why, it just happens. Because this guy's, what, 25? 1 serving of noodles in the fridge? But I thought this fridge was practically empty. Anyway, the whereabouts of the missing noodles and all that's important now. You ran into me in Geiru when you came back to deliver uncooked soba, correct? That's right, Simey. I've made time out of my busy day to deliver noodles. And you know what? You ignored me and called to him from the inner doorway. He just kept mumbling Rococo for ages. So I got mad and went back to my soba shop. So that's why you got mad. What he's saying true. There's no way he could have been the murderer. I swear I'm telling the truth, Miss... Bailiff, get that man to the infirmary. I swear... God, I dare say he's quite the handful. Your Honor, please accept the statements Mr. Wet made into evidence. I believe the accused's statement about going to the room at round 2 is true, for it falls within the victim's estimated time of death. That opens up the possibility that the crime was committed between 2 and 4. That's some critical information. Yes, Your Honor. But other than that one point, Mr. Wet's statements are dubious and without proof.
Objection!
But they are the words of the defendant himself. Simon, back me up here. He has a point. If I were the prosecutor, I wouldn't accept them either. While I understand the defense's feelings on the murder, this court is unable to accept anything other than the time the defendant made the visit. Now what do I do? I trust you have no further objections, defense. At last the time has come to send the soul of the victim towards the Twilight Realm.
Silence!
What are you yammering about, sad luck? We still have something we need to question Uendo about. We do? Like what? Well, don't just stand there! You don't have any evidence left. Have you forgotten? Isn't there still a hidden witness you've yet to question? A hidden... Oh! Oh, that's right. Your Honor, there's still one more issue we haven't finished discussing yet. And what is that bit of unfinished business? We haven't finished discussing the issue of Owen. We still have to discuss the possibility of the fourth personality, the one named Owen. Are you suggesting that this fourth personality of Uendo's might be the culprit? Geez, not this again. I already told you we don't know anything about this Owen. Look, Uendo, I know you don't have any motive to kill your master, but this Owen may have had one for all we know. Come clean now, Uendo. You've got another personality stashed away, don't you? Please tell us everything you know about Owen. That's enough. The witness has already stated he knows nothing of any Owen character. Bravo! You tell them, prosecutor! Hey, Patches. If you claim you don't know Owen when you really do, that's tantamount to perjury. If you want to exercise your right to remain silent, however, that's a different story. Do not listen to the depraved prosecutor. He will be tainted with his evil. Do you have any idea how dark and cold the prison cell is? I exercise my right to remain silent. What's this now? Changing horses in midstream, are you? Shut up! I'll remain silent and that's it. Patches, you fool! Stay out of this! Patches is not the brightest bulb in that box you call a noggin, is he? The fact that he switched from I don't know to I know silent is proof he does know. There it is again, Simon's formidable psychological manipulation. I'm sure glad he's on my side.
Objection.
Stop breaking those! You dirty, despicable, depraved prosecutor. You were leading the witness. There is no need for you to submit yourself to defense's question.
Objection!
Your Honor! Whoops. Your Honor, Uendo's definitely hiding something. Please allow me to question this witness about the existence of Owen. I suppose only the witness can confirm or deny the existence of Owen for us. Very well, I will allow the defense to proceed. Polkunga. I've never met any personality named Owen. Patches was just blurting out nonsense in a panic. We're always aware, so we definitely notice if a personality like that showed up. How dare you treat me like a criminal based on mere conjecture? How am I supposed to deal with the testimony of 3 personalities? Unless you can prove the existence of Owen here, it's all over. You'd best screw your courage to the sticking place and attach that testimony and attack the head. Blah! Words! Let me try that again. You'd best screw your courage to the sticking place and attack that testimony head on. All right, I will. To stop piling the pressure on me. Gotta draw out some info. Anything to drag Owen out in the open. So, let's see. Third statement. Yeah, third statement. But what if, for some reason, you 3 were unconscious at the time of the incident? If the 3 of you weren't alert and aware, what would happen? What would happen? I'm not even sure what you mean. I mean, you 3 shared the same memories, right? But what if Owen is different? What if he has memories separate from yours? Maybe he emerges when the three of you are unaware or unconscious.
Objection!
Instead of speaking as if the fourth personality is a foregone conclusion, I suggest you prove his existence first. Well, we've already seen 3 personalities, a fourth wouldn't be a stretch. You dishonor the victim in the court by jumping to such conclusions without proof. Have you ever heard of the old saying, what happens twice will happen thrice? If you see 1, there are likely 30 in your home. Oh, I've never heard of that one. I'm basing my theory on such a premise. Comparing us to cockroaches? Do we bug you that much, girlie? But how do you intend to prove it? How will you prove that all 3 personalities became unconscious, as you say? Unless you can do that, all this talk is merely empty speculation. Well, Don't be so timid. If you don't have it, then find it. Look for something that could render Uendo and the others unconscious. He's right, I can't back down now. For my client, Mr. Wet, I have to... Wait, Mr. Wet? Huh? Okay. Mr. Wet, falling unconscious? Wait a minute, I think I got it. Miss Sykes, do you have proof to back up your theory? Yes, Your Honor, I do. The proof is right here in the crime photo. It is? In that case, please point out what supports your theory. This is what most likely caused him to fall unconscious. That is one big fucking bottle. This is probably what made Uendo fall unconscious. I guess the sake. And isn't it just like Master Toneido to pick a fine brand like Camel? Sake? Oh, you mean rice wine? Oh, please. Don't call it that. It's so unsophisticated. It's not even wine. Silly girl. I must agree, you need to become more cultured. Tomato, it's made of rice and people get drunk from drinking it, right? It's called sake, end of story. Fine, sake it is, shut up. Everybody's so touchy about these things. I recall Master Toneido would often have a drink or two before performing. He said it made him more eloquent. Drinking too much of the stuff can make one lose consciousness, though, of course. And look, there were 2 glasses on the table. Uendo, I believe your master offered you some sake. And then, you must have drank too much and passed out. It's when that 4th personality, Owen, emerged. I drank sake. Oh, that's a good one. We have a real sweet tooth, you see, so we did accept a sugary red bean bun, but since we really dislike sake, we said no, thank you to that. We said no, thank you to that. Believe it or not, we're real weak when it comes to booze. Even a tiny drop can knock us right out. So you see, I had a sweet manju bun, but I didn't drink any. What? That can't be right. The defense demands that the glasses be examined right away. You amateur, did you really think I hadn't already done so? Your foolishness is beyond the pale. Don't tell me. There was no trace of the witness having touched either of the glasses. Right, of course. Miss Sykes, would you like the witness's statement added to your testimony? Let me see. Okay, highlight the bottle. Okay, Taifu's note. And its statement. Okay. Yes, please. Very well. Okay. Typho's note.
Objection!
This shows what this shows what most likely made Uendo lose consciousness. That note. Are you feeling lightheaded, child, or perhaps a bit peckish? I'm not hungry and my head feels fine, thank you very much. Look at the paper this note's written on. Isn't there something familiar about it? What exactly is your point? This faint design reminds me of this paper from... Yup, it's a piece of the wrapping paper on the box of manju buns. Uendo, you may not have drank any sake, but you did eat a sweet red bean bun, right? Well, yes, that's right. I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but I believe the manju you ate caused you to fall unconscious. The bean bun, but how? That's what I want to know. They contain a secret ingredient. A very punchy secret ingredient as well. A punchy secret ingredient? Yes, the design on the wrapping paper matches that of something else in the room. It does? Uh-oh. So it's made of rice wine, oh dear.
Take that!
The camel patterns this... Oh! It's the same as the sake! So just as Uendo said, he didn't drink any sake per se. But he did eat some. Impossible. Uendo had a camel brand red bean bun, which boasts a nice shot of sake as one of its ingredients. So the defense is claiming he passed out after consuming a sweet bun, which allowed a fourth personality named Owen to emerge. Is this correct? Yes, Your Honor. That's exactly what I'm claiming. Man, you're going through tea really freaking fast. Almost as often as Sadmani's blowing through all of his charm beads. There's still one thing that bothers me. Wouldn't the alcoholic content of the buns evaporated as they were steamed? In order to give them a stronger flavor, some manju are specially made to retain as much of their alcohol content as possible. What kind of lightweight do you think I am? Even I wouldn't pass out from eating a simple manju. But then how about we test that theory? What do you say? Seeing is believing, as they say. Very well, I will allow a test. Let's get this person drunk! Simon, go buy us some camel manju on the double. And don't forget one for me, too. Why must I? And while you're at it, Prosecutor Blackwell, you get me one as well. I'm not the courthouse stable boy, you know. The Taka is. But just this once I'll acquiesce. Taka, I'm counting on you. That is one cool bird. And all of you better pay me back. Oh, but I thought I would be your treat. What a shame. Now then, let us adjourn while the manju arrives by carrier hawk. Court will reconvene as soon as Taka returns. This is so stupid. But whatever works, I guess. Let's get a kid, well, not a kid, but a man drunk by having him eat a pastry. Okay. This is totally not Japanifornia. This is totally just whatever. Anyway, the fourth one. So we're not done with this just yet. We've got things to do. A couple more episodes left of this story. And we'll get to the next one tomorrow.